Holiness, it's a pleasure. Nice to see you again. I was taking notes as I was listening to you about respect and being human when you are treating and working with patients. You talked a little bit about diversity. How can we instill respect for the diversity of others here as we work in the healthcare industry?
Firstly, I think nobody argue the way our life formed in mother's womb. Then during that period, even that period, is a child. I don't know, the first week, second week, first month, second month, I don't know. But then gradually, you see, little bit sort of the church. I think after a few months, I think the mother's mental state, very much important, the unborn child. Mother's sort of mental state, happy, calm. The unborn child also you can get some sort of positive because of that, because of the impact. The mother, constant fear, anger, more agitated mind, very harmful for that child. Then after birth, after born, obviously, the child, no idea who is that person, but biologically, immediately, see the very closeness feeling towards mother, and the mother also. No matter how sort of at that moment, little bit of dirty, sort of delicate, but mother really. So that's human nature. 7 billion human beings start that way. Even today's also the merciless leaders or people, their life starts that way. Then at the end, 7 human beings, same way to say goodbye. So that moment also, you see, money may be very rich, but those, because of bank notes are there, bank notes in bank, so I think bring more worry about the dying person. Or jewelries, I think more worry. At that time, surrounded by Kasota, your trusted friend with love surrounded, then the dying person feel much happier. We can learn other animals. Youngsters, this animal with their mother, this is sure, very safe, very happy. Right. When you separate, you see some scientists, you see, experimented. Some young monkey with their mother. Some young monkey separated. So these monkey with mother more playful. Those young monkey separate from mother, constant quarrel. Always very angry, agitated like that. So we are same. We are same.
We are the same.
So, and then most important, everybody want a happy life. Nobody want a problem. So same. And all have same right to achieve happy life. So then, you see, thinking or awareness, these things, then this is someone who on superficial, you feel little irritation, but deeper level, same human being, same right. So then, develop sense of respect, sense of concern of their well-being.
We have so many questions. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
So then I think one important thing is when we develop some anger with someone, the anger actually, you see, need some kind of or target. So the person, I say, create some problem for you, then we look only that angle, then, oh, this person really creates a lot of problem for me, so I consider this my enemy. Then you see anger come. So at that moment, or I think that basically that person, if you ask, oh, your enemy, today's enemy, from birth, whether you're enemy or not, no. And become your enemy, troublemaker, without any causes or factor, no. It's the person who creates a little bit negative attitude towards you. There are many causes. And in that part of cause, you also made some contribution. So you cannot blame entirely on that person. You also, you see, among the among the factor which creates that person who shows negative attitude towards you. For example, or small things happen. You immediately, you see, express negative. Then that negativeness feeling keep in your mind, day and weeks, months, years. Then you get the impression that negativeness increasing. So something happened, that short moment, some angry face, harsh word. The next day, finished. Then no problem. So these things, and my friend, one scientist, Aaron Beck, now his age 97 or 98. So once he told me, when we develop anger, the object appears something very negative. But actually, that negativeness, actually 90% of that negativeness is your own mental projection. So therefore, I think we can examine our own experience. You see, due to certain factor, you see, you lost your anger with someone. Then, that moment, you see, you feel, oh, 가서다, 통일만 되었다. 미팅에 나오냐 떡이면 사버리지.
You feel disgusted with the person, the thing that you don't want to see him or her anymore.
Then the intensity of anger really reduce. Then someone telling you, or that person, some nice word about you. Immediately, you see, when you heard that, your sort of mental attitude completely changed. If this negativeness is something absolute, then the factor which you feel angry, remain. But due to certain sort of factor, you change that. So therefore, the most of the destructive emotion is actually very much mixed with mental exaggeration. So we have this wonderful brain. So we should utilize this wonderful brain, analyze, and look from wider perspective. And poor animal, they have no such ability. So they cannot think holistic way or analyze the situation. We have this wonderful brain. Sometimes I describe, if you believe Creator, then the God give us, this wonderful brain. So when we develop emotions, we must utilize this wonderful intelligence, analyze, and look from different angle. Same person, from one angle, yes, you feel irritation. Same person, from another angle, looks neutral. Another angle, you may feel, wonderful, good, like that. So therefore, the reality, something relative, no absolute. So when our destructive emotion develop, only from one angle. So the antidote of that, when develop anger, you try to look that object from different angle. Three dimension, 4 dimension, even 6 dimension. From above, look. From below, look. So this, I think only human being can do, other animals cannot do. So it is really worthwhile, to utilize extraordinary intelligence or extraordinary brain which we have. If you become slave of destructive emotions such as anger, then hardly you are, because of following animals or because of the attitude like that, or tiger or these things. They cannot, they have no such ability. That's my view.
I'm curious, you mentioned anger, Your Holiness, and here at a place of healing, there are many, many people who have serious illness, and they have trouble accepting that diagnosis. Do you have advice as to how a person can accept their situation and move through it so they can continue to live?
그래서 what do you mean?
As you know,
But if you through blood pressure, also the blood test, or all these things, and then I think if sensible patient must accept.
some people, as you know, though, Your Holiness, fight and cannot accept their diagnosis.
Really?
That's
Yes?
what I've heard. I've heard that. So I'm
It
curious.
looks me, that's foolish.
Any advice as to accepting?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm
See,
good with that. I'm good with that.
I think firstly, you see, let that person cool down. Talk some nice things. And then it's their mind a little bit sort of cool down. Then, firstly, you should express your real concern. Let that person feel, oh, this person really taking care of me seriously. Then eventually, they, because of that, make known those difficult or seriousness, may be better.
I understand.
I think the nurse or doctor is telling this negative thing without smile. Then maybe the patient, you see, more difficult to accept. You see, you showed your serious concern about their sort of well-being, their illness, and showing you also, because of your own sort of the sense of worry or concern. Then maybe, I think sensible patient, I think then will listen. If still not listening, then that's an exception. Then I don't know.
When it comes to, Your Holiness, some patients who do listen and accept, some people, as you know, are able to view cancer or their terminal illness as a blessing or a gift. Does that make sense to you?
There's some Tibetan, some good practitioner as well as good scholar. See, one day, I know him. See, he met me, and then he told me, now he already got some incurable sort of illness. So the doctor saying something very serious illness. Then he told doctor, if my illness is really, you see, incurable, cannot cure, or terminal, then let me know. Then I'm thinking something, preparation. Of course, we is thinking the life after life. So then, very good. Let me know the reality. Then accordingly, I will prepare. He told me that. So, some people, even you see, the seriousness about illness, you see, do not say want to hear. This is self-deceiving.
Self-deceiving.
Like that. So, but then individuals, different mental disposition. So you have to act or treat according individual. So what's the case? Like that. I don't know.
We have so many questions from our audience and their caregivers. Here's a question from the audience, Your Holiness. How can we, as caregivers, deal with feeling helpless and frustrated when there's nothing more we can do for a patient?
There's some cases, yes, it is a reality. You try your best, but then impossible to cure. Accept the reality. So then, this is just provide loving kindness or smile and sort of give them the feeling of loving kindness. So I think the person, as I already mentioned, person at the time of dying, I think some kind of, because of the high spirit, that is important. So that comes surrounded by people with smile and with kasota, affection. Then that at least, you see, keeps some kind of high spirits always. So if we, if you know those people who have the concept of life after life, then they at the time of dying, the mental state is very, very important for next life. And people, I think, according Christianity, you see, at the moment dying, remember God. And meantime, your spirit should be very high, more optimistic, more sort of positive. So that, I think, the very important sort of immediate sort of cause is to go to heaven. At that moment, demoralize. And too much sort of anger or worry. Even though usually this is a very religious-minded person, but at the time of dying, that kind of sort of completely lost hope and demoralized. And the worst thing, some agitated mind. It's very dangerous. Like that.
There are many people here, Your Holiness, who I have worked with the dying. And you know, caregiving is a very difficult task, doctors and nurses.
Of course.
Do you have advice on how caregivers can balance practicing compassion without burning out emotionally?
Of course, difficult to say. I have no such experience. So imagine, if I sort of, imagine just simply, you see, I think at that such moment, the thinking, as I mentioned earlier, from wider perspective, just thinking that the particular circumstances or reality, but look from wider perspective. That I think helpful. Otherwise, I don't know. Really don't know. So, I think the most sort of destructive emotion actually very much link with usually we call ignorance. That means not knowing the reality, because you are sort of focusing just one aspect. So the only remedy is looking that from wider perspective, then you can see the reality, different aspect of the reality. As a human being, I think basically that's our thinking. That's why, therefore, some part of our curriculum, study about the system of our mind, system of our emotion. And then, the emotion, something because of vast and interconnectedness. So knowing these things, then easier to tackle certain sort of particular emotions, like that. So these are, usually we do that, but I don't know.
Would you like another question, Your Holiness? To be compassionate, do you have to believe in a personal God?
No, that to be compassionate, must one believe in a personal God?
Yes.
I think yes and no both. To many people, yes. I feel very purpose of concept of God and Creator is to develop firm sort of the conviction, the value of compassion. So to some people, they believe God, a personal God, or this very life created by God. So each individual, develop some kind of sense of very close sort of that closeness with God, like our Father. So more closeness feeling, more willingness, and also more sort of courage. I am Son of God. God described infinite love. So we all have seed of that compassion. And also, my Father always taking care of me, always look after me, like that. Wonderful. At the same time, out of 7 billion human beings, over 1 billion non-believer. And among about 6 billion believer, different beliefs. Some sort of ancient Indian tradition is no concept of creator, but rather self-creation. So different perception, different perceptions, like that. So each have their own sort of beauty. So people who follower of Christianity or Islam or Judaism and many other ancient Indian a non-Buddhist tradition, or non-Buddhism, because non-Buddhist as well as non-Jainism, you see, they believe Creator. Then Jainism, Buddhism, no concept of God, because of Creator. So it's a different mental disposition. Therefore, there are now almost 3,000 years, you see, the different time, different area, with different cultural heritage, different way of life, you see, these different sort of philosophical views, you see, develop. So each have its own beauty. And it is the very helpful to overall humanity. I think this is very good among the humanity. So many different mental dispositions. So different way of approach to promote inner value. Wonderful. Then to non-believer, as I mentioned briefly, one of my commitment is promotion of human value. That also I call kasota, basic.
Secular.
Secular basic mabit kasa.
Universal compassion.
Oh.
Ethics, basic ethics.
No. I don't know, it's basic ethics or something. Because now in India, the Indian constitution itself is very much based on secular concept. So according to Indian understanding, some Indian understanding, secular means respect all religions and also respect non-believer. In the West, secular means disrespect religion and also some, I think, negative attitudes toward religion. So the very word secular, different sort of the interpretation. So in any way, now out of 7 billion, over 1 billion non-believer, this is also human being. I think one problem is those non-believer, since they do not accept any sort of spirituality, spiritual value, so they also, you see, not much pay attention about love, compassion, forgiveness, tolerance, these things. So that's a mistake. Whether accept religion or not, that's one question. These basic human value, so long they are human being, you have to sort of give this deeper value. Without love, how can develop happy family without love and kindness? And actually, we are social animal. Social animal, you see, they mentally, emotionally, there must be some sort of the way of thinking which bring together. That's love. And with love, sense of community. So then we are social animal. One individual, no matter how powerful, just one single person cannot survive. Our survival depends on rest of the community. Now today's world, each individual's future very much related with 7 billion human beings. 7 billion human beings happy, and you individual have maximum benefit. If 7 billion human beings, a lot of turmoil or something, killing each other, like today's sort of situation, and one individual difficult to feel happy or peace. So therefore, whether believe religion or not, you are a human being. You want happy life. So happy life from material, from money, from power, superficial. The real happiness is related with mental experience, not sensorial experience. Sensorial experience, animal also have same. We human being, this marvelous intelligence, either, you see, become source of happiness or source of worry. You have all the facilities, but at the same time, can be very, very unhappy person. Other hand, materially poor, but mentally very happy. One occasion I met a Catholic monk in Casade, Montserrat, in Barcelona. No, not Barcelona, in Spain. So I met one Catholic monk. You see, he spent, I was told, he spent 5 years in the mountain, hermit life, very little hot meal, tea and bread. When he come to see me, I already informed that story way. So I asked him, I was told, you see, you spent 5 years in mountain, hermit life, and very little facility. What kind of sort of practice, what kind of meditation? And he answered me, meditate on love. When he mentioned that, in his eyes, something very, very special, joyful sort of expression. So such person, deliberately, you see, the kasota, choose very simple kasota, simplicity, simple life, very little facility, but that person enjoy immensely inner peace, happiness. And some of the billionaire, you see, very rich. I know some billionaire. You see, when we, after sort of exchange some nice words, then when we become something closer, then they express their deeper feeling, too much worry. Billionaire, at the same time, a very unhappy person. So money, matter, cannot produce inner peace, peace of mind. Peace of mind is a must develop within our own mind, not rely on external facilities. Actually, physical difficulties can subdue with because of the mental peace. But mental sort of because of the crisis or disturbed mind cannot subdue by money, by power. So obviously, the mental level experience is more important than the physical level experiences. So we as a human being, the God's gift of this wonderful brain, so we should utilize that brain in order to keep inner peace. Then you can consider genuine human being. If we just use sensorial experiences, some sort of nice nice scenery or something, or sports, and music, and taste, and smell, and touch, including sex. If you only consider these things are something very important, then like animal. So we, as a human being, we must sort of utilize a deeper level of our ability to think, to tackle our emotions, irrespective whether believer or non-believer. So that I usually call without relying on religious belief, use our intelligence and try to reduce destructive emotion, and through increasing constructive emotion, like that. So if you have believe God, wonderful. If you haven't, okay. Still you are a human being.
Well said. I'm curious, we have another question from the audience, Your Holiness. Compassion is born of human connection,
Yes.
right? So as we go forward, the world is so technologically driven. How do you keep that connection in order to foster compassion with a world that's driven by very impersonal technology, including in the medical field?
Technology, machines, only used to provide physical comfort, not mind. So the method to bring mental peace, I think in the future maybe the technology may sort of may produce peace of mind. I don't know. I think at least another 1 century. That also, I think, possibility of 1%. No, otherwise it's difficult. So technology, these bring physical comfort. And also, technology bring us the power of destruction. Sad. Those really brilliant sort of minded sort of person, their wonderful brain used for destruction, create different variety of weapon. Very sad. I think technology, you see, can immense help to kill people, thousands or 100,000, even million, within second. Technology can do that. But peace of mind cannot.
We took another question from the audience.
Yes?
What is the relationship, Your Holiness, between
But
healing?
at the same time, I love technology.
You love technology?
Oh, yes. Technology brings us here together.
True.
Without technology, I think you may have heard India through some kind of the messenger or something. Otherwise, it's impossible.
Do you have a cell phone? Do you have a cell phone?
No,
Oh, okay. Just,
no.
I didn't think you did, but I thought I'd ask that question.
You know one story. I do not. I love technology. When I was young, this is screwdrivers are there. Screwdrivers and some simple machines. You see, I always keep with me. So some small sort of repair work I can do like that. So I love these things. And also sometimes repair clock like that. Small watch, impossible, difficult. So in any way, nowadays these machines are too sophisticated. So I do not know. I'm not trying to learn or to use. So let other people use. So therefore, one occasion, my friend from some different country telephoned me. So then my secretary brought that because of phones away, cell phone, and then I because of that listen, and then when I answer, I put this side. Then you say my secretary laughing, not necessary. Just you can talk. I do not know. You see, while listen, you see here, I'm talking like this. Old-fashioned. That's the sign of sort of ignorance.
Yes.
But that ignorance, not much serious.
but still the message is connection. Human connection is still needed no matter technology.
So this, you see, technology, now technology is wonderful. Now the question is the user of technology. Use properly, honestly, with sense of concern, well-being of other, finally well-being of 7 billion human beings. Then technology really can be very, very helpful. But technology used for self-centered sort of interest and how to destroy that person, how to destroy that nation, then very bad.
Good question here from an audience member, by the way. So much of disease is triggered by people holding on to anger, resentment,
yes, that's right.
bitterness, pain. How do we get people to lighten up and let go, or should we?
That's, again, you see, use our brain. What you want to use is to keep anger here, days and weeks. It won't go away. And that eventually, see, your physical health also, I think, ruined. So some scientists, now they say, constant fear, constant anger, hatred is actually eating our immune system. Other hand, more calm mind, more compassionate mind, very, very helpful to sustain our health, like that. So therefore, see these, I think lack of knowledge about the system of emotion. So these information about different emotions, usually I call map of emotion, that come from some sort of ancient spiritual text. Right? But now time come, we should take these things as a sort of the academic subject, not a religious matter. Although maybe irrelevant here, the books which translated from ancient Indian Sanskrit language and also Pali language, mainly Sanskrit and Pali, about 300 volumes. So in these 300 volumes, the content, we can make 3 parts. Number 1, science. Science of particle, science of mind. That should consider academic subject, a science. And the second part, philosophy. There are some philosophical views are directly linked with religion, in this case, Buddhism. But some sort of philosophical views, like a quantum physics, a very similar concept in philosophical views. You see, nothing independently exists. So that exactly, now quantum physics sort of, how to say, the concept, very similar. As far as because of the external thing is concerned, nothing objectively exists. Observer there, it exists. No longer observer, difficult to say. The probabilities were like that. Sometimes people describe the word probability, not certain. So that means no independent existence. So over 2,000 years, almost I think 2,500 years, is that concept already developed in India. Nothing independently exists. So that philosophical views, we can take as a philosophy, not a religious matter. So out of 300 volumes, you see, we already now last, I think, almost decade, around 1 decade, we started to combine science and philosophy, just pure philosophy, and then religion. Religion is for Buddhist. But philosophy, some part of this philosophy, and science is something common for everybody. So we already now compiled, you see, according to this content way. So already translation, already now start. English translation, Hindi translation, Chinese translation, or Mongolian translation, Russian translation, German translation, already carried. Like that. So maybe 1 or 2 years, this translation can be available. Then I think some of doctor also, you see, can learn something about the system of mind. So some of my friend is a respected old doctor. Now your age should be younger. Then you can study these things.